Hello everyone and welcome to our channel again. So firstly, I apologize for any noise that is going to be there because actually some work is going on in my home. So I apologize for that. Today in this video I'm going to show you what needs to be done once you set up your PC. Like you have built it completely, you have assembled everything, but you need to know what are the first steps that will help you towards long-term stability and getting the best performance out of it. So firstly, you are going to enter the BIOS setup, and or in your case UEFI setup, and there you need to set your XMP profile, that is your extreme memory profile, because your RAM modules that are there, they have two kinds of frequencies. One is the specified frequency and one is the tested frequency. So your specified frequency is always going to be lower, the timings are also going to be much more relaxed. But suppose you have purchased a 3600 megahertz RAM kit. By default it will run in the maximum clock offered by your platform. That is, if it is an AMD, for example, if it is an AMD 3000 series platform, it will lock your memory to 2666 megahertz. Okay, and you will have to go to your XMP setting. In my case, I have an Asus D550F Strix gaming ROG motherboard, and here I have to do the AI overclock tuner as DOCP. The default is auto, and then set the DOCP mode to the specified profile of the RAM. I've got a 2666 megahertz kit, and I have manually overclocked it to 3200 megahertz. So if you are not comfortable with that, you don't have to do that, but make sure you run the intended XMP profile for your RAM. The second step is disabling any unnecessary items on BIOS. This won't improve your performance in gaming or working, but however it will improve on the booting times often. So for example, if you have got an Asus ROG motherboard just like I have got, you will want to make sure that if you go to tools, you will find an option called Asus Armory Crate. So when you're before installing the OS, you will want to make it enabled so that you don't have any problems with the drivers and all. But if you once you have installed the operating system, I suggest you disable this because I have tested and it appears that Windows loads up much more quickly than if you leave this on, for example. So and once the drivers are installed, you don't need to download and install the Armory Crate app again. You can just like you will already have it installed, so there is no point with this thing. So this is all with the BIOS. With the overclocking stuff, I have already covered it in another video, you can check that. So but for the basic setup without overclocking, this is the stuff you want to do. And if you are working with stuff like VMware or anything that uses virtualization, you will need to enable SVM mode from your CPU configuration. That is this option. Okay, this is an Asus motherboard. This option will vary, like AMD virtualization technology or AMD V technology, but it is like you get what I am trying to say here. So you will need to turn this on. You can refer to your motherboard manual for the exact setting in your motherboard, but like it will vary here and there, but it's the purpose is the same. You can also, under PCI subsystem settings, there is Acer IOV support as well. So this is also a virtualization support only. So it will like allocate exclusive PCI Express resources for your virtualization based applications like VMware, Oracle Box or stuff like that. So just make sure you enable these things. It is recommended not to enable it if you don't use these things, but if you are using any virtualization based stuff like as I said, VMware or Oracle Box or anything similar, then you will want to turn this enabled for the best performance from your PC. So I will just exit from BIOS and then bring up to you what you need to do in Windows for your for the best experience you can get from your rig. Hello everyone. So we are booted into Windows, and I'm going to show you what kind of optimizations you need from the Windows side. So firstly, if you are gaming on your PC, and like I can guess you will be doing that based on the interest on on this channel. So firstly, you need to enable game mode. Just search for game mode. You will get the option called game mode settings, and from here you will need to turn on the game mode. So what it does is essentially it prevents any kind of Windows updates or driver updates when you are gaming, and also like mutes all notifications. You get this icon like the one I'm getting right now. So because I am also using a full screen application for the screen recording, and it has detected that, and it has intelligently stopped the notification stuff. And the way it improves performance is that not just it makes you fully immerse in your gameplay by muting the notifications, but it also reduces the number of background processes like the Windows update process or the installer processes, and helps like keeping your CPU taxed only for the game you are playing, so that you can get the full potential. So this is what it does, and it's a very useful and nifty feature, and I suggest to turn this on if you are gaming, or if even if you are using any kind of full screen applications to free you up from interruptions. This is the first thing you need to do. The second thing is that if you are running Windows 2004 and above, there is a special setting under a graphics setting. So what you need to do is first check the build of Windows you are running. I suggest if you are building a new PC, then always download the latest ISO from the Microsoft official website and install the operating system from that only. So what you need to do for checking the build version, in case you are unaware, is that you need to go to update and security, and then click on OS build info. So under OS build info, you will see this thing, the version, that is, in my case it's the latest one, it's a 20H2. So the thing is, from 2004 and above, the 2004, by the way, was released on May 2020, and 20H2 was released, I believe, on the end of October. So once you have verified you're running version 2004 and above, you need to go to display settings. You can just right click on the desktop and click here, or you can go from the settings as well, and then you will need to go to graphics settings. So click on graphics settings, and here you will find you are getting this option, hardware accelerated GPU scheduling. If you don't have this option, just check if your drivers, you have the latest drivers for your graphics card. As far as I know, Nvidia has enabled this option on all of their cards. I am not exactly sure about AMD. Do let me know if you know that. But if you get this option, I suggest to turn this on. This what it essentially does is it reduces the overhead on your CPU for the graphical tasks and puts them on your GPU. That because that is the thing that is meant to do all the graphical stuff and the high level of parallel processing that your graphics operations need. So I suggest to turn this on whether or not you game on your PC. This will help with the overall any kind of graphics performance. Even if you are rendering a video or anything like that where it involves a graphics intensive task, then yeah, I suggest you keep this on. And so these are the mostly the two settings. For other stuff, I will suggest, I'm actually telling this because I've seen a lot of people skip out on this stuff. So if you have an Intel system, just download your chipset drivers. Just hold for a while. So what you need to do is, so you need to download the chipset drivers. You can just search for your appropriate platform drivers. That is, if I suggest Intel chipset driver, you will sorry if you search for Intel chipset driver, you will get the appropriate drivers for it. And yeah, you can go to your motherboard manufacturer also. Like if I search for SOZ 470, anything like Z470 Prime, for example. So no, this is the X470. There is no Z470 Prime. Okay, so let's check what is there.
So Z470. Sorry, it's not Z470, it's Z490. Oops, my bad. So yeah, just search for any SZ490. Like if the one you have got, go to support and then download, the essential drivers, and your chipset is a very important driver that you need to download. So this is what you are looking for, the chipset driver. So this is uh, the it's very much essential for, so that everything is connected with the chipset actually, like even your CPU, like is a CPU, your hard drive, your whatever you have got, your SSD, they all communicate through the chipset. In case of AMD CPU, the chipset is integrated within the CPU itself, but yeah, like it's the same, does the same thing. So just make sure you have this driver, and in case you have an AMD system, just like I have got, you will get the appropriate drivers from here as well. Just like this is the motherboard I have got here. So just go to support, drivers and tools, and select your operating system, and you will find your chipset drivers. This is the one. These are very important stuff, do not miss out on these things. So once you have ensured all these things, before you launch something, I would highly recommend that you set your power profile to high performance. What it does is it will disable any power saving features, and it will improve your performance by quite an extent at the cost of some power saving. So when you are gaming, you don't you are already putting a load on the system, and you don't really care about power savings. So that is what you need to do, and this is mostly all you need to do. And just make sure that you are on the latest BIOS version as well. So just I will just give you another example. This is the board I have got. Do not download any beta version of BIOSes, because they are prone to cause issues, and if you don't really need that. But when you like you're using the BIOS, then you need to what should I say, need the latest stable BIOS for the best possible performance. And that's all for this video. It's a short one, but I hope it helps you and you learn something from it. That's it for now. Take care and subscribe to the channel if you like more of this content.